Nancy Desjardins, and today I'm with Didi Curry, and we're actually in Belleville, which is 2 hours east of Toronto. And two weeks ago, Ivan and I we were driving on the highway, and we noticed a sign of an organic farm. So we actually drove to their place, and without even calling them, and Didi spent 2 hours with me explaining, the process of how she kind of maintained the property. So they're right on. Actually, it's how many acres, Didi?
It's just under 3 acres.
3 acres.
Just under.
Oh, wow.
2.75 or something.
Okay, and so Didi, actually, we're gonna walk on the property, and we're gonna go right into the compost. How she organized the compost, and also the care of the soil. Because I know many of you asked me those questions. Again, like myself, I've been gardening for 2 years, so this is a hobby. But Didi does it on a more professional level. So I think we have the expert for this clip. So Didi, so how long you've been doing this?
Okay, so we've been doing this for about, we've been here 16 years. So I think I started probably 14 years ago with just a small, I was like you, I didn't know how to, I had a few tomato plants, a few herbs, and that's about all. So living here, we were planning on doing bed and breakfast, which we did. But then bit by bit I thought, okay, we need to have some vegetables, and if we're going to have vegetables we need some chickens. So we got the manure that we can use for compost, and so we started small, and then bit by bit it got bigger and bigger, and after 3 years of doing it just on my own with my husband's help, we then decided, okay, well, we've got all these vegetables, what are we going to do with them? So we did CSA, which is
what's CSA?
Well, it stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
Community Supported Agriculture. Okay.
Yeah, and they get a weekly basket. They pay a certain amount of money at the beginning of the season, like in May, and then every week from about the middle of June, when the veggies, because it takes time for the vegetables to grow.
Yeah.
But so about middle of June until the end of October, they get a weekly basket.
Okay.
So we did that for 6 years. But when we started doing that, then we just increased the garden from 1 patch to about 6 patches, and then eventually it was 9. So we increased it as we went, yeah. And then after about 6 years of doing that, I joined the local co-op, organic farmers cooperative. It's very small, just there were 12 members, and then we went down to 10. So last year I was their market manager, and I went to Toronto, and I actually didn't have time to do much farming myself. We still had a patch here, but it was small.
That's right.
So I've been, up until last year, I was just selling all of my produce through the co-op, which went to Toronto.
Oh, up to Toronto?
Yeah, I went to Riverdale and Brickworks.
Okay.
And yeah, so then last year as I say, my husband's retired, and he's finding it a bit heavy duty, and I must say I'm finding it heavier.
But it's a lot of work. But you really enjoy doing this.
I love doing it. Yeah, and I will
to.
even after I leave, I shall still always have a serious vegetable garden, because I just love growing veggies, and I love you have to have the compost to put on vegetables, so you need a few chickens. You always need a few animals to produce manure for you. And right now we don't have any chickens. They're due to come in June. I gave them away in December because I wanted to go on holiday this winter.
So the chicken, are they
the chickens,
on the property, or
they have a whole of there's a field down by the barn.
Okay.
Which is about 1 acre. They have 1 acre of running around, and then they also have their sleeping quarters inside the barn, and they go to bed. They put themselves to bed at night.
Wow.
And then I glean all their poop in the morning, which then goes into the compost.
So what I noticed like 2 weeks ago when we spent some time together is everything is organized on the property.
Yes.
So you keep it really really clean and organized. So it takes time, but also, like you mentioned, it's a passion. You really enjoy that, but you're also giving back to the community.
Absolutely. And that's why with the chickens, like a lot of places people say chickens are a lot of work and they smell, but actually if you take care of them and keep them clean, they're really easy to take care of and not have smell.
Wow, thank you,
Yeah.
Didi. Now we're gonna go to the garden area, and we're gonna talk about how to compost, how to do composting. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the composting. But Didi, you mentioned that the chicken, or that would be their
Yeah,
home, their space.
they have that field
Okay.
to run around in,
Okay.
and it's attached to the barn, and they get in and out of the barn sort of like that.
Okay.
And this is we call this a skid row, which are their skids, right? And we've made them into four sections, and we bring the poop out, and inside the chicken coop, you've got the floor, which has got shavings and hay, and then you've got the poop. So we have shavings and hay that come in when we clean out the barn,
Okay.
and we do that about once every 3 months or so, and then or every month during the winter, because of course in the winter they don't go out much because it's white and cold and they don't want to go.
No.
And so we mix that in with the poop plus the wood ash that we
That's
have.
right.
So that all gets mixed in as well.
But how come you have three?
Well, this
three
is the
stacks?
oldest one.
Okay.
See this one here, it's thinner. Well, it still has, it's a bit dry, but if
Okay.
you dig down, you see how it's black?
That's right. That's right.
So that is sort of this, the black is really, that's ready nearly.
Okay.
Whereas here, this is all loose, this is really, hasn't broken down. I need to wet it. You have to keep it damp, and I haven't done that this summer. But once the chickens arrive, then I'll start I've been busy planting.
Exactly. That's right. Okay. So
Okay.
let's go in the garden. Okay, so Didi, you have many bins for compost. I mean,
This is kitchen compost.
is
so
it kitchen? Okay.
This is all my kitchen waste.
Okay.
And the reason we have a whole bunch is I just don't necessarily, I don't use them. I use them for the flowers and the fancy, the garden with flowers.
Okay.
I don't usually use it because I don't really have enough that's ready for the farm, for the actual vegetable patch.
Okay.
So in here I usually put the kitchen waste, and then I'll put some leaves in just
Okay.
to keep it loose. Now this one has gone right down, it's not nearly full.
Okay.
So really, one that's nearly full would be this one. This one's ready to go. Yeah, this one is now ready to go.
Okay. Can we show the texture? How?
See,
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
so that's ready to go, and I've already actually taken some out of here. This one here is also not quite, it's nearly. So what happens in the winter time, they fill up because they don't break down. And so instead of worrying, I just get another bin and start filling the next one.
You showed me something last week. Oh, this is the fill.
Oh yes.
Ivan, can we get one of those?
So this
That
is
is
this is my husband made an adjustment, an add-on here. And basically what I do is I put it in, I sort of go down like that, and then I use this, I yank it round,
That's right.
and then I lift it up again, and I stick it in a different place, and I yank that round. And then again, like that.
And the reason why I want you to show this
Because
is-
it's difficult to actually stir it
yeah, that's right.
when it's full. Whereas once you've got it looser, then you can move it around. And it's important to move it around and make sure that it's wet enough, damp,
That's right.
and not too dry.
And
So once it's too dry, then you need to add some water, and if it's too wet, then you need to add some leaves to sort of soak up the extra wetness.
that's right. And also the compost requires some attention as well. So that's,
Yes,
it's
yes.
something on a daily basis. That
Yeah,
you
well,
rotate.
when I empty my bin from the kitchen, I usually stir it up.
Ah, okay, good.
So maybe once every 2 or 3 days.
So Didi, what is the ratio? I mean, what do we need in the compost? We need the the vegetables. and
Anything.
the
I put
fruits.
I put everything and anything that's wet.
But as far as the nitrogen or like,
I don't worry about that at all.
You don't even.
No,
worry
I
about
don't
that.
worry about any of
Keep
it.
it
I just
simple.
keep it simple. Just put it all in. Add a bit of leaves to keep it loose. Make sure it's got some dampness.
Okay.
End of story.